There's something about the personality of the president that maybe it's not the dumb thing, but because, a father figure, a mother figure, uncle figure, just needs to be something natural about him that we can relate to, that, lower offices, it doesn't matter so much.
I think that's a really good question. I do think that, there's ample evidence that a guy who just gets up there and acts like a know-it-all is not going to be embraced. You do have to have the common touch. My whole point in this book, though, is why must that be a binary choice? Can't you have somebody who can connect with the American people but also actually reads the presidential daily brief, which is literally 3 pages long? That's all I ask. And I think I'm pretty hard on Democrats in the book too, and I'm hard on them for one reason, which is I feel like Democrats historically have fallen into this trap of just thinking, well, we're smarter than the other side, we know more stuff, so of course we'll get the votes. And that actually isn't how it works at all. You do have to connect with voters on a very visceral, personal level, but the key is to find people who combine both, who are smart, serious, curious, have intellectual humility, which leads to intellectual curiosity. And then they don't spend all their time bragging about how much they know, but while they use their personal skill to connect with the voters, they are, behind closed doors, they're also getting the job done. It doesn't have to be a binary choice, and I can think of examples of people who were good at both. I mean, FDR is a great example of this because he was a great speaker, he inspired people, he connected with people, but he knew what he didn't know. And a great example of this to me is the Dust Belt. The Dust Bowl. We had this ecological disaster that we had never faced before. It was completely man-made, much like climate change, so it's a good paradigm. And he surrounded himself with experts. He figured out, with their help, how to solve this problem, and they did solve the problem. So he had both. He had intellectual curiosity and the ability to marshal facts, and more importantly, surround himself with experts, but he never lost sight of the fact that he had to connect with people. So I just don't think it's an either or. I think Barack Obama also had those two things going for him. I think, to me, the best president of my lifetime. People like to carp about Obama didn't do this and Obama didn't do that, but he was a pretty amazing president, especially when you consider he wasn't even born here. I mean, he had to learn our customs and our ways and, our language and everything, and you really have to say hats off to him for that.